Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Freeman and you might notice my assistant Clover popping in and out of the video today. We are going to create our gores for our hot air balloon and then glue them together. So first what I'm going to do is use my pattern and trace my gore. You can choose to do this individually, meaning you can take each sheet of tissue paper, put it on your table, put the pattern over, trace it, and then cut it out. Or you can do them all together, but if you do them all together, this is up to your teacher. It's not up to me, and it's not up to you. Only do them all together if your teacher says it's okay, because if you accidentally mess up with your scissors, then you're going to need a whole new sheet of tissue paper, and it's going to cause a lot of problems. So be sure you ask your teacher before you start cutting multiple sheets of paper at a time. So I'm going to put my gore pattern on top of my tissue paper, and again, I'm going to be doing them all at one time. So if you're doing them one at a time, it's going to look almost the same as me, except you're not going to have any colors peeking out under. So I'm going to place my gore right on top. I'm going to make sure it fits in there nicely and that it lines up with the end. I like to use a marker to trace on tissue paper because it doesn't rip or get stuck. You don't really need something super dark. So now that I've traced on my tissue paper, I'm going to carefully cut out. And I'm going to cut out all at one time, which is tricky. See how careful I have to be to make sure all my tissue paper stays super straight and stays in line with each other. So I'm going to save this scrap paper because it's going to come in handy for my last step. Doesn't have to be pretty. I'm just going to put it in a pile over here. So now I'm left with my beautiful gores, and I'm using 4 gores, 2 purple, 2 orange. In my hot air balloon, I'm going to have them alternating, which means they're going to take turns showing their colors. So I'm going to set them up alternating as well. To set up your gore, you want to lay it down, pick the first one, it doesn't matter which one. Lay it down flat and then fold it in half. Make a nice crease. So this way your gore is folded in half. It looks the same from either side. Then, if you're doing alternating colors like me, you're going to want to put your next gore on top. So I'm going to lie my orange piece flat, fold it in half, and I'm going to place it on top, perfectly on top. Okay, then I'm going to alternate again with my purple. And my last gore. teachers don't feel like you have to stay at my pace. You can press pause at any time. All right, so now to review what I have right in front of me, I have folded Gores, 4 of them. I have a purple, an orange, a purple, and an orange. And I'm going to make sure that they are right on top of each other. Okay, so now we are going to glue them together. And don't freak out, it's not nearly as hard as you think it would be. I'm just going to use my handy dandy glue stick. I am going to let it go out maybe half a centimeter because I need a nice edge to be able to glue a thin line. So I'm going to keep that handy. I do not need to worry about the first piece. I'm going to fold him over towards me. And next, I'm going to take my orange piece and I'm going to slide it down a little bit. I want to be able to see the purple pop out underneath just a little bit at the top and about a ½ inch or a centimeter all the way around the rest. That means that my orange might go a little bit below the purple at the end. That's okay. So now that I have this, so you can see what I'm talking about right here. Okay, so this corner is different than that corner, and that's okay. Right. So you're going to glue on the very edge of the top gore. So using your glue stick, you're going to carefully put some glue on the top edge. You definitely want to make sure there's glue all the way around. You don't want to miss any pieces. And I keep going like this, back over what I've done, just to make sure that I didn't miss any spots. It's much easier to add the glue before you start folding. Okay, now this is what I mean by folding. So you're going to take the piece of purple, the next layer, and you're going to fold it over. When you fold it over, you're going to push it down on that glue. It is not going to fold perfectly. Things only fold perfectly if they are straight lines, and our gores are definitely not straight lines. So you're just going to expect the wrinkles when they happen. It's totally fine. Just keep folding over. Okay, you might get some glue on your hands. That's okay. Sure if this part right here is glued 100%. So I might come back in here and glue that. All right, so now that is attached. Beautiful. I'm going to fold this down towards me and I'm going to do the same exact thing. So this, I'm going to move this purple down so I can see the orange peek out about a ½ inch all the way around, and my purple is a little bit lower than this orange, and that's okay. I'm going to glue a thin line on my purple, oops, all the way around. Now be careful when you flip up these papers that you don't flip up both. You just flip up one layer of tissue paper. This didn't fold very nicely, so I'm going to add more glue. And then work back at the top. That glue isn't sticking. just have my last gore down here. I'm going to make sure that there's a centimeter or a ½ inch all the way around, and I'm going to glue on my orange tissue paper, making sure it's super sticky. There's a lot of glue, but only on the edge. Okay, now when I lift it up, I can kind of put my hand inside and carefully puff it out. You'll see that I have almost completed my hot air balloon. I just have to glue these 2 gores. So I'm going to do something very similar to what I did before. I'm going to take this gore and lie it down as best I can, and have the other gore lie down right on top with about a ½ inch or a centimeter showing. Now this is super tricky. You might need a partner to hold down your balloon while you glue these pieces together, because this is super tricky. You want to make sure it's very sticky, because once you put it all together, it's hard to fix mistakes. Alright, so I'm going to start here. You see how this is not perfect? That's totally fine and acceptable. I'm going to have some crunkly spots on here. Okay. So now I should have a hole at the bottom of my hot air balloon. I can stick my hand up there and pop this out. Okay. You still have a hole at the top, and that is perfect because you have a lot of leftover scraps. So you're going to try and measure your hole as best you can, but it's not really that tricky. Just go ahead and take a piece of your scraps that seems similar to the top section of your hot air balloon. Put some glue all around the edges of it. Okay, and then you're going to put one hand into your hot air balloon, and the other hand is going to hold your scrap piece and just push down. Well, first remember which side the glue is on. Okay, I think it's on this side. Try your best to glue that on top. think we might need a lot of glue. Scratch that. Put a lot of glue. All around the edges. Okay. Holding it together for a second, giving it a chance to glue on. If you put your cap on and you realize, oh wait, I found another hole somewhere, or my cap isn't big enough, just do the whole process again. Take a piece of your scrap paper, trim it to about the size of the hole or your cap, and then glue it down, okay? So now we have our finished product, and we are ready for testing.